It gives me a thrill to wake up in the morning to the mockingbird shrill. Ba 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 doo, da ba dee dee do, ba doo doo. Hey, Chrome. Oh no! Just when you're about to cook, I actually have. Well, I've got I can stream 45 minutes or so. Today or this weekend is Braxton's graduation weekend, and his girlfriend graduates this afternoon, so I'm going to go up for that, and then going up tomorrow for his graduation. Hey, Andrew, and Nolan and Wolverine, and Niall and Lix, and Ashy and Garrett and Shark Dentures, and excuse me, you had me at big personal. Nah, Lix. I wish. I wish that part of the personal story of my life was big, but no. Excuse me. You got a notification, Gabe? Yeah. Rosa says, Curtis, did Elon Musk buy YouTube? I got a notification. I looked it up the other day. Do you know, guys, to give you an idea, because YouTube gives you stats on that, of our 300,000 people, or almost 300,000 subscribers, 66,000 are signed up for notifications for whatever this channel does. So that tells you right there, just even if people weren't interested in the streams, and many people wouldn't be, but that tells you right there, just if they were actually getting notifications, I mean, I'm just assuming most of you guys are like me. If I get a notification about something like that, I'm like, oh, I'm going to pop in for a second, just see what's going on. So if you were notifying everybody and it's 66,000 people, you would have more than 23 here right now, if just to take a look to see what was happening. That's why their whole thing is just bullshit. They give you all these great stats that prove that they're not doing what they're telling you that they're doing as far as notifications. You're making garlic bread? Oh, I like garlic bread. Yeah, Lex. Yeah, it all went by so fast, too. Brax getting to this point, because I had always said my goal, I told you guys this before, my goal had always been I wanted my son to be able to stay a kid as long as possible. The time you have to be a kid is too short as it is. So I would take care of everything I could for him all the way through college so he can enjoy being a kid before he has to be an adult. And now, as of Saturday, he's got to be an adult. Poppy says, next up on my manga reading list is Spy X Family, Once the Last Three Arrive. But for me, this was probably the most annoying series to find. Was it? I'll tell you, that first episode I watched today was really, really good. I like that a lot. Really cute setup. Yeah, shark dentures. According to our statistics department, we're fucked. Hey, Samuel. He says, hey, Curtis, guess what? I'm back online on my PS4. I'm so happy. I'm glad to have you here, pal. Glad you got back in. No, I would never imply that I stopped being a kid, Lex. No way. Most of my likes and enjoyments and stuff are still so kid-like that I could never make a convincing case. Oh, no, and I'll bet the Elric brothers wish you were their dad. They never got to be kids. Yikes. We're just talking about that series and the whole, we had friends over last night, and I think I've convinced them to watch an anime. They're going to watch Violet Evergarden. And we're talking about some of the other things, and I told him the little story of Shao Tucker and, what a good dad he is. Gabe says, I fired at work the other day, and my coworker tried opening the window. Must have been a really bad one. We work on a submarine. 6 volumes in on the manga, Chrome, and Spy X Family? Yeah. Yeah, that's what Poppy was just saying, that it's really hard to find. She was just saying that it was difficult to get. Rosa said, "Did you know that anti-trans hate is the highest among LGBTQ? Yet trans people are murdered or assaulted the least. The reason for this is because we kill ourselves before the others get the chance." Oh, Rosa, yeah. Oh. Fire Force. I've heard a lot about that one, Erwin. Everything I've heard about that has been good. Everybody, everything, like I say, anybody I've talked to that's seen it, and we talk about a lot of anime, has said that Fire Force is really a good watch. It gets it started now. The last couple of nominations and polls we've had to pick a series over at the Goosh, it's been nominated and it's gotten some support. Like I say, and I got sidetracked, which is not unusual. I will always make sure and keep these Free for All Friday streams going. Aside from that, it's just been, again, putting so much into getting things working differently and working efficiently at the YouTube channel. So I haven't had time. And then I'm chomping at the bit. I have like something really, really big coming up in my personal life I want to share with you guys, but I can't yet. And early next week when I can, I'll explain why I couldn't tell you guys about it yet. But it's funny because for those of you that were here for last Free for All Friday, I got a phone call that interrupted the stream and follow-up text that made me end it early. And it all had to do with the big thing that I have coming up. And for those of you who are wondering, no, the big announcement is not that I'm not pregnant. It is not that I'm pregnant. Not that I'm not pregnant. It would mean I am pregnant. It's not that I'm pregnant. And that's only because I can't get anybody to step up and, with the insemination. Denture says, Wise Man, reincarnation is real. Me, what? You mean I have to do all this crap again? Yeah, really, Dentures. Yeah. Yeah. I think, especially after what we've all lived through over the last couple of years, nobody's begging for reincarnation right now. Yeah, Poppy, that's what Chrome's saying. It would be worth the pain in the ass of finding all the books. Hey, Kyle, good to see you, pal. Ashy, I still hate it when ignorant people tell me I'm too old to like cartoons/anime, especially that lady I met at the hospital psych ward. Samuel says, here's a good joke. How do trees get online? They just log in. Oh. I love terrible puns. I truly do. Yeah, Big Green says, I want to reincarnate into a less shitty Earth. Yeah, there's got to be a parallel universe that's preferable to this one, doesn't there? We can only hope. Thoughts on Mr. Bean? I didn't see a lot of Mr. Bean, Kyle. What I saw was funny. I mean, it wasn't something that obviously, impressed me so much I had to go out and watch everything he did, but he was funny. Kaiser says, Yo, Curtis, I challenge you to a duel. The loser has to be friends with Tristan. In a children's card game. And of course, I know nothing about the rules of Yu-Gi-Oh! Anyway, but I can't imagine it would matter if I did. I don't think I would lose at the children's card game regularly anyway. Poppy says, guess who's going to her first Comic-Con on Sunday? The favorite Ginger. Oh, cool. That's fun, Poppy. I've only been to a few, and man, it's a blast. Excuse me. The one down in New York City at the Javits Center, that was such a good time. But even when we went, even better than Comic-Con was the next day at Anime Fest down there. Oh, shit, it was good. Quicksilver Fox says, hey, Curtis, it's Sharingan Tales. Okay, I remember that screen name from a while back. I recently got into composing and would be honored if you would react to my first project. It's called Derelict Arcadia on here. Hope you're well. Thanks. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. The only thing is I can't really do that because it opens floodgates. That's not something we generally react to here. And the problem is, because I had to kibosh this a long time ago, it's not fair for me to do a reaction or give a shout out to one person's material and then not do it for everybody else. I mean, I don't think that's fair. So that's the only reason I have to say no to that stuff. Because early on, back when we had like, jeez, 7,000 subscribers on the channel, we started doing shout outs here or there. People would always ask, especially back in the day. And I didn't think about it. I thought I was just doing somebody a favor, a smaller YouTuber a favor by just mentioning them. But then we just got deluged. I mean, for every video we put out, we'd have, even at that time, 20, 25 requests for shout outs. And there's just no way. So, I had to learn my lesson that, because I feel bad. I don't like to do something for one person and not do it for all the others. So that's the only reason I can't really do that, especially with something that isn't even of the type that we would typically react to here. I've heard that one, Gabe. What's the difference between a pedophile and acne? One waits until you're 13 to come on your face. Yeah, I've heard that as pedophile and acne, and what's the difference between a priest and acne? Yes. Hey, James. No, what happened to the voice actor of Caboose? Wolfpaw? I didn't hear. Yeah, Red vs. Blue was awesome. I just always had so many issues reacting to them with, what's their name? Company that produces it. It just wasn't worth it anymore. I'm from upstate New York, Megan. Upstate New York, where we just got done, hopefully are done, with the snow. We had it snowing as late as last week. Good question, Noah. Curtis, I have a question. How do you tell when you've run out of invisible ink? Well, that's one of the true conundrums of the world. And the inventors of the creators of invisible ink, I think, are responsible for leaving the rest of us all out here hanging like that. Are you going to cosplay as Toga, Ashy? Good cosplay. You guys know Toga is one of my all-time favorite characters. She's my favorite character in that series. Kyle says Watch Mojo did a top 100 movie villains of all time. Watch Mojo, but I like the stuff they put together. Denture says upstate New York. You mean District 12 from Hunger Games? Yeah, there's nothing good going on with New York State right now. Oh, nor will there be for the foreseeable future. We're so deep in debt, the taxes are just going to get worse and worse and worse. Iro says, could you react to this one YouTuber called Spaz Voice Comedy? It's this really creepy old guy who watches anime videos. No, I know of them, and I don't even want to be associated. No, that guy's fucked up. No. Gabe says, oh, that's terrible. What's the difference between snow tires and black people? Snow tires don't sing when you put chains on them. Yay. Oh, man. Till the end of time says, which one was funnier, Will Slap or Dave Chappelle tackle? Yeah, what the fuck's with that guy? Have they really determined exactly? I mean, we know that what the weapon was that he had and everything, and obviously that he was a dumb fuck. But have we determined what? I guess the only thing I saw was on social media, allegedly, I guess he had been posting stuff about how he was going to be the avenging angel for all of those that Dave offended. He had posted something about, I got you all, and, really saw himself as doing something magnanimous for, no matter how bad a beating he got, and it was a pretty good freaking beating with that shoulder all ripped apart and everything, it wasn't enough. You couldn't beat him down enough to make me satisfied. The Bob's Burgers movies? Yeah, I'll probably watch that, Kyle. That's a rough one too, Rosa. What is the biggest difference between Dale Earnhardt and Kobe Bryant? Kobe finished his career before crashing. Wow. Yikes. Let's see. Wolfpaw says, would you meet with Trump? Sure. Sure. It'd be an interesting I wouldn't do it unless it could be recorded, that's for sure, or televised. Because it'd be an interesting conversation. And like I say, I voted for him, but holy shit, there's a lot of shit I'd like to ask him. Ashley says, what do you think of people who call New Yorkers Yankees? I have family members who do that, and it gets on my nerves. Oh, it doesn't bother me, Ashley. I mean, because, by actual definition of the term, we are Yankees. So, nah, that don't bother me at all. Kyle says, do you know that Pokemon has more episodes than Simpsons? I didn't know that. To be honest with you, I'm not super surprised, with how long Pokemon's been along and how insanely popular it is. But I didn't know that. Oh, did you? That's cool, Jordan. He says, hey, Curtis, I just went to a AEW event, and I was on TV multiple times. I had a great time. They've got a really decent roster. Just in all the high-profile wrestling organizations right now, I think you got an excellent selection of workers, of wrestlers. It's just the writing is hit and miss, to put it nicely. Wolfpaw says, after you go test, did you ever challenge Spaz Kid to a children's card game? No, because like I said, honestly, I don't even know the rules of Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't know if Spaz Kid does either. When he was younger, he used to collect some of the cards, but I think him and his buddies were just into the card collecting element of it. I don't think they ever actually, I don't think they actually ever played the children's card game. I think they just collected the cards. Yeah, like Big Green says, yeah, I'm not surprised either, considering the games are still going, and every time there's a new Pokemon game, there's a new season to go along with it. Yeah, that's what I mean. I didn't know that, but that was not surprising. Pokemon's just crazy popular. Jack Harper says, how much of who you portrayed in the ring is the real you, and how much of it is played up, promos and vignette-wise? Depends on the story we were telling. I think for me, and for any character or gimmick to work, you gotta have a strong belief in it at some level. It might not be who you actually are, but it could be things you could envision. And it's just like, well, with the whole Curtis Candy, that whole legend of the wrestler anyway, was built on hardcore stuff. And for whatever reason, I always liked violence. I told you guys the story when I used to get bullied when I was younger, and when I finally decided to stop, the big turning point was the first couple times I got in fights, I realized I liked it. So that was a natural extension for me. I actually got an adrenaline rush from those hyper violent matches and stuff. So there's always got to be, I think anyway, a little bit of you in your gimmick for it to work well. Unless you're going with something just really at a whole different level where it's just 100% pure acting. But if your gimmick is in any way supposed to be a quote unquote normal human being, you got to have a lot of elements of yourself in it. Big Green says, I always like violence, Curtis Candy. Yeah. Again, when I was younger, I liked getting into fights. And now the thing I can honestly say is I never victimize anybody. I hate bullying, but I like getting into fights. It was just, I got into fights with other people who like getting into fights, because I fucking hate bullying. Ashley says, have you ever met anyone that you considered too bubbly and cheerful? Yeah, I think all of us have met people that, and when you say too bubbly and cheerful, I guess I have met people that are so bubbly and cheerful that it gets annoying. Now, not to a degree where it's like, look, you got to change your personality to or I can't be around you type thing. But I've known people that are so bubbly that, yeah, it can get on your nerves a little, but very, very rarely. Hi, Annie. Well, Paul says, would you ever visit Russia? I I don't really have any desire to. I don't know if the opportunity was offered to me. I don't know. Yeah, I've heard that one, Gabe. How do you know if a black woman is pregnant? Tampon comes out, picked all it's cotton. Yeah, I've heard that one. I've heard that one. Uh, Cheeky Chunk says, enjoyed the quagmire, try not to laugh. You looked a bit creeped out that is saying something. It did, actually. That's unusual, Chunk. That's unusual for me to get creeped out. But that's where you can get me, is if it's stuff to, again, it's, the paternal instincts of being a father is the greatest thing in my life. And when things get turned towards kids, that tends to get to me. Even, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I understand the context it's presented in, and it's still funny to me as well. But it's also, it's really cringy. And like I said in the video, when you watch the shows, and this is what I discovered as I was watching that compilation. When you watch the shows and Quagmire's being his creepy self, you go, ooh, and you move on with it. But when it's one right after the other, it gets like, oh, yeah, my skin is just crawling. Poppy says, last post, having autism can be a curse. Okay, let me see, Poppy. There you are. My eye contact is very shit usually. When looking at someone or something, I can focus for 6 to 12 seconds. On a Zoom call, it's 1 to 2 seconds. Could be just familiarity too, Poppy. A lot of people get uncomfortable with whatever it may be, new forms of communication. There are there are people that do things like what I'm doing here who will be online or on TV, say, talking to a camera, where in their case there could be millions of people watching them, and yet freeze up when it's a live audience. So just having a different, it could just be a matter of getting used to conversing with people in that element. Wolfpaw says, do y'all have a plan if nuclear war does break out? My family has been talking about it. If nuclear war breaks out, yeah, I'll probably just kiss my ass goodbye. I don't have a big plan. Till the End of Time says, are you going to any anime convention this year? Don't know. I have none planned. I was saying earlier in the stream that, and it's in the title, I have a really big personal announcement, and I'm going to make a video about it to explain everything, and I'll post it at the Goosh first, and then I'll post it over here at the YouTube channel as well. And that'll explain some of why I don't have any plans for it as of right now. But it's going to be, yes, it's pretty exciting for me. And I always like to keep you guys apprised of what's going on. And in the case of the Goosh, I just want to let the gang know that what I have coming up, even though it's going to take up a significant amount of my time, it will not be affecting what we do over there and the stuff we get to enjoy every day. That's pretty good, Annie. Annie says, how women have changed over the years. 70s, they had a big bush. 80s, smaller bush. 90s, clean shaven. 2000s, a penis. That's pretty good. I like that one. Playman Forster says, Roe v. Wade thoughts. Well, I've always been pro-choice. My biggest issue, I think, with the other folks that's why I don't fit in with anybody. Even when I agree with somebody, I don't necessarily agree with their reasons behind the agreement. The thing that always gets me, though, about others who are pro-choice is they always try and present it as, well, you're not killing a child because it's just a clump of cells. No, I mean, that may be factually accurate. That is factually accurate. But the point still remains, you are snuffing out what would be a human life. It's like, it's okay to be pro-life, but why can't you take responsibility for exactly what's going on? I'm pro-life because I feel that potential life is dependent on that woman, and it should be her choice. But to say that you're not taking a life, that's incorrect too. Sure you are. Just because it's in its early stages, sure you are. It's just, that's why, again, guys, that's why I don't fit on either side. Even when I have a belief, a lot of times that belief doesn't come from the same place that others who have the same belief it comes from for them. Other nations? Well, Paul, I've been to just North America, Canada and Mexico. Correct. That's right, Krusty. He says, I'm not exactly an American citizen, but from what I understand, Roe v. Wade being repealed just means it goes back state by state rather than federally. Correct. 100%. But people get upset because they want that. The people that are pro-choice want to have that federal protection. But yes, you're right. 100% right. I finished Avatar ages ago. Those reactions that you see here at the channel are just stuff that I edit up from our Patreon, the Goosh, and bring over here. Avatar was fantastic, but like I said, I finished. Oh, it was a couple of years ago, wasn't it, guys? We finished Avatar. Oh no, there's nothing exciting about why I went to Canada and Mexico, Wolfpaw. There'd be no story to tell. I went down to Mexico to check things out. We went down to Tijuana and saw how wild it was and stuff, and not really much took place. In Canada, I've just been to Montreal a few times for different business things. Shark Dentures says, sort of like what I said about the vaccines in an earlier stream. I can't believe these people are on my side. Yeah, it happens to me a lot, Dentures. That's why I say I know I'm middle of the road because, and this comes from things I lean both ways on. Even though a lot of times I have an agreement with a certain side, it's not even for the same reasons that I agree with them. Gabe says, oh no, what's the difference between Sarah Palin's mouth and her vagina? Only some of the things that come out of her vagina are... Oh, that's terrible. Wow. Oh, that was brutal, Gabe. Oh. Wolf says, Canada is always snowing. Yeah, I haven't seen Gimster in well, we don't get to stream much anymore. The last I talked to Gimster, because he's in a real snow belt up in Canada, last we talked about it, it wasn't as bad this year. Last year, they got freaking obliterated. He'd be in the streams every week going, I can't fucking believe it, with a couple more feet of snow. Flame Enforcer says, do you think they'll overrule gay marriage too? No. My personal opinion, I don't think there's a chance in hell in that. You've got significant opposing sides on Roe v. Wade. I don't believe you have significant numbers of opposing sides on gay marriage. I think that'd be more like a 90% to 10% thing. No, I don't think so at all. And again, I've been wrong before, but you're asking my opinion? No, they won't even attempt it. They won't even come after gay marriage. Let's see. Rosa says, I think that the importance of parental rights is exaggerated at times. I think children's rights should come above parental rights. Oh, sure. The second part of that, I completely agree with. Yeah, I mean, I think government should get involved anytime a child is in potential peril. Sure, absolutely. Big Green says, we haven't had a major snow in a long time. Can't say I'm sad about the fact. Yeah, I get you, pal. This really wasn't a horrible snowfall year for us here either. Snow blower. I think I got my snowblower out twice, maybe 3 times. Other than that, we had 3 storms of significance, and none of them were even, like the old days, what we used to get up here in upstate New York. None of them were like that, where you get a couple feet. Ashley says, when was your first exposure to Cartoon Network? Oh, when it first came out, I remember that. I remember being all excited about Cartoon Network being added to the lineup, or when I first had accessibility to it here on my cable provider, but I don't remember exactly what I watched first or anything. Kendo says, do you think this Canelo could beat a prime Floyd? I feel like he would. Could he? Yeah, I think so. I think he's good enough he could. It's not saying I would predict that he would, but I wouldn't be shocked if he beat him. Wolverine says, I live in southern Arizona. I would love a good snowstorm. Well, up the Flagstaff area, Wolverine, you could always just travel up there. Because I remember from when I lived in Arizona, Flagstaff used to get blasted every so often. Courage was a good show, Flame Enforcer. Yeah, I liked Courage. That was a really good show. Hey, Lou, good to see you, Val. He says, hello, it's been a while. Life has been a doozy. Well, like I say, Lou, I've been down to the last few weeks just Free for All Friday streams. I keep trying to fit in some more here or there. It's just the amount of stuff we're posting now. I just haven't had the time. I'm still going to continue trying though. And just the extra things going on, like I said earlier now, in a little bit, I have to end this stream because this is graduation weekend at Braxton College. And today his girlfriend graduates, and I'm going to go out there for that. They had to split it in half to make sure they had enough room, their graduations in half, to make sure they had enough room in their auditorium. So I'm going out there to watch her graduate, and then back out tomorrow to see him graduate, and then back out there Sunday with a U-Haul to bring all their stuff back. Lex. I personally believe that abortion should be illegal. It's much more fun to kill the baby when it can scream. Jesus Christ. Wolverine says, this is accurate. Yeah, I remember that. I just remember when I lived down there, it was ages ago, but yeah, I remember Flagstaff getting just blasted with snow on occasion. I'm sure this is the first time you've had trouble trying to fit a thing in. Yeah, correct. The fitting in is never a problem. It's just the getting lost on the way. Your big brother's coming home for the weekend? Oh, that's cool, Poppy. That's very cool. And he says, sing for me, Ed Sheeran, says girl in wheelchair. When your legs don't work like they used to before. Nolan says, my girlfriend told me the small penis isn't that big of a deal. Don't worry about it. I didn't have the heart to tell her I wish she didn't have one at all. All right, that's a good one. I like that one. Gabe says, I live in North Carolina. It's pretty boring here. I would want to move somewhere where the weather is pretty comfortable. Oh, well, North Carolina's got a big range of weather as well, too, within the state. Similar to Arizona. Well, not as extreme as Arizona's, but yeah, because in Arizona, you go from, again, Flagstaff, who will get those freak snowstorms and get 2 feet of snow like nothing, down to Phoenix, where you can get winter days where it's still 106. Rosa, why do white people get triggered so quickly? They are snowflakes. True. Zalir says, are you a fan of the Jackass movies? Me and my dad went to see the newest one in theater in March, and he was laughing harder than anybody in the theater. I like the newer one. I just watched it a couple weeks ago. It's streaming now. I watched it. I liked it. I didn't think it was as funny as some of the others, in the respect that I didn't think as many of the stunts were really funny. But it was well worth the watch. I enjoyed watching it. They had a pretty high bar, because I love the Jackass movies. What do you think of Frank Sinatra and the song My Way? It's all right, but I think Elvis did it better. And there are other artists I think that did My Way better, most notably Elvis. Excuse me. I mean, when you think about it, Frank Sinatra, I have some Frank Sinatra songs on my playlist. So I like some of his songs, but he wasn't a great singer. He was well connected. And that's what kept him going. Gabe says, I only live about 2 hours away from the mountain area. I think that going to at least northern Florida would be fine for me. See, Florida, because you guys know how we love Disney, and that's Central Florida, and we love going down there, but I don't know that I could live there. That's just so hot. It just gets to be too much. Big Green says, I would watch the new Jackass, but I look at a Jackass every time I stare in the mirror. Me too, though, pal. And I still, like I say, I enjoyed most of it. It's, it's just a different style of jackassery than what I see in the mirror. Cary, North Carolina. I know that name, Ashley, and I can't picture it in the state. Why do I know it? Now you got me curious. Let me just look real quick. I'll look on another window. Because now it's bothering. Because I don't know if I've been there or been through it. Oh yeah, it's up near Raleigh. Yep. Yeah, it's not all that far from where we usually are when we're down there. It's probably because we're in north of Charlotte area when we go down to visit family and stuff. So it's probably, I don't know, maybe hour and 10 minutes away. Gabe says, I live in Kannapolis, South Carolina. It's very busy here since they're working on a new road. It's almost done, thank God. I know, Gabe, all through, just from when I'm down there, all through North and South Carolina, it's just burgeoning so much there, exploding up there. Yeah. Denture says, in Minnesota, we have winter for 9 months. Yeah. Road construction for 2.5 months and 2 weeks of nice weather and mosquitoes. Minnesota's rough. Because you got all that lake effect snow and everything. That's what just beats you down. Because it's bad enough when you get the normal weather patterns that come across the state, but then you guys got to deal with all that activity off the lakes too. I have been to Las Cruces, New Mexico. I have. I used to live in Roswell, and I had been down to Las Cruces. My uncle and aunt actually lived in Las Cruces for a short time. Haven't seen Jackass movie in a minute, Vin says. And have you ever been through Winston-Salem? I have. Next time you should go, if you ever get a chance, next time you should go to the Old Salem. Me and the wife go a lot. Do you? No, I've never been to Old Salem, but yes, I have been through the Winston-Salem region a number of times. I like it. I like all of North Carolina. It's very nice. Well played, Visual FX guy. What do you call a black person on the moon? An astronaut, you racist bastard. Oh, Chrome says, I'm back. That's the garlic bread in the oven and the bolognese cooking. Oh, I don't know. I got to figure out what my wife and I are going to do for dinner tonight because, again, we don't have staff today, so she's going to stay home with Renee, with my stepdaughter, and I'm going to go represent us so we can see Braxton's girlfriend graduate, and then on the way back, I'm going to have to figure out something for dinner because I don't miss a meal, especially more so now because when I'm cutting down, when I'm working out and trying to eat right, I have very, very measured breakfasts and lunches that have just whatever I feel like I need to keep fueling myself. Then dinner, I have something more. Because again, I'm sure shit not looking to be a bodybuilder or anything. I just want to get in better shape. So I'll eat pretty much what I want for dinner. I just watch the portion sizes. So when you're doing that, though, you tend to look forward to dinner even more. Because it's like, oh man, I'm so fucking hungry. Hey, Josh. Curtis, what would be Ed, and Eddie's store? Ed, and Eddie's Edibles. That's actually pretty good. Yeah. Now that's a catchy title. Chrome says, so are you a garlic fan or a vampire? It's funny, Chrome. I like garlic on certain things. Like garlic bread, it's usually good. But now, if I'm having pasta or something like that, to put extra garlic on it, it's too much for me. So I guess it all depends on what is blended in with. All right, guys. Well, I gotta go because again, I do have to. I gotta take off, and I'm gonna go watch Spaz Kid's girlfriend graduate, and then tomorrow Spaz Kid graduates, and then Sunday we'll be moving them out of college, and I will tell you guys, it'll be early next week. I should be able to talk to you guys about the big news that I was referring to, and again, I'm going to make a video about it to explain everything, and I'll post it at the Goosh, and then shortly after I'll post it at the YouTube channel too. But guys, this is fun. I'm so glad. Oh, I'm so glad I got to come back and stream again. These just really invigorate me a lot. Now I got an hour drive out to the school and stuff, and it just picks your day up. I'll just be even happier than usual. So I'll be driving down the road, big grin on my face. No, I won't, because as soon as somebody cuts me off or something, I'm a road rager, so then I'll be a douchebag again. But all that said, thank you guys for hanging out with me. And it's the Free for All Friday sticky stuff. I think going forward with streams, we're only going to disperse sticky stuff on Fridays, just because it goes so perfectly hand in hand with Fridays, the sticky stuff. Here it comes. Get ready for it. Get your official sticky stuff fanny packs out, because I'm feeling like this is a pretty good blend. I think you're going to enjoy this. Well, here, let me give it to you. You tell me if this isn't a good blend. Pamfu, pamfu. Sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you way back there, because we'll bang, okay? Flashily like Puggy. And as always, most importantly, and it's always blended just perfect. Goosh, 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 goosh. Goosh.